Alright guys, what's going on? This is SecondBlank here, and I was going to say something food related, and I stopped myself because I'm a fat ass like that. I actually just ate dinner. I had a nice steak burrito. It's a very, very delicious thing that was. I had two of those. Fucking food tubes right there. I love those. They're the only tubes I like. I hate noob tubes, but I like food tubes. So, you know, there you go. Anyway, guys, keeping up with the theme that we have this week, it is Fun Story or Funny Story Week, and I have two for you this time. I don't know if they're actually funny in itself, but just the fact that it's kind of fucked up how these two stories happen to impact me in a sense. And I'll tell you that in a second. Now, of course, you're seeing some Battlefield 3, you know, gameplay, commentary thingamabobbers, but it's different because now we're in the back to Kirkland map packs, and we got Conquest this time instead of Rush like I always do. Even though I love Rush so much, I decided to change up to Conquest, and I love Conquest so much. I'm going to play that more often. And if you guys want to join me, please, I encourage you to add my gamer tag for PSN. It's SecondBlank. And come join me and have some cavalcade of funs. Fun times for all. All the fucking cookies for everyone ever. Time to give you guys some nice little stories. Yeah, 2 stories. So let's get this going. So the first story I want to tell you guys is actually a dream that I had when I was little. I think I was like 10 years old when I had this dream actually. And it's about, and the where it takes place in the dream is actually my mom's boss's home. Now, there's a long story about why I dreamt about my mom's boss's home, but for the sake of argument, that's where it took place. And in this dream, I was like home alone, kinda. Like I was like by myself in the middle of a long hallway in this home I was in. And as I was walking through the hallway, it was dark as hell. And there was like a big ass like awesome like fancy window because they live in the fucking, you know, 310 area. I don't know if you understand what that means, but like basically they're nice as fuck, you know, homes over there. And what happened was, I was just there walking by myself, and then all of a sudden, there was like this giant grandfather clock that just poofed out of fucking nowhere and scared the living shit out of me. Now, the thing about this grandfather clock that really like was kind of off was that there was like 4 legs on the grandfather clock to support it from the floor, and it looked kind of sharp and edgy in a sense where it can cut people if you lean against it too much and, you know, accidentally scrape against it. So it was kind of scary to see this clock, and it made like the loudest sounds when it reaches like, you know, those set times for hours, you know what I mean? Like when it reaches 3 o'clock, it makes that, you know, those dong sounds or whatever. And it was very scary because you were just by yourself over there, and you were just kind of like looking around in the dark, not knowing what to do. And as this grandfather clock was there, I was expecting it kind of closely just to see what the fuck was up with this clock. And then from out of nowhere, my mom comes in and touches my shoulder and scares the living hell out of me because I was all jumpy as fuck from just seeing the grandfather clock. And she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh my god! No, don't do that. I want to go home right now." And she's like, "Okay, we're going to go home right now." And she turns away to go walk the other direction to, I guess, go get the hell out of the house. And she was all calm about it too, which was kind of strange that she was all calm in the darkness in a long ass hallway. But then all of a sudden, a pair of like really scary looking hands, very scary bony looking hands, came in and grabbed my mom's feet. And she looked down to see what the fuck's going on. And as she was about to scream, because something touched her legs and her feet, these pair of hands literally just took the feet from her body. So she was like kind of floating in mid-air. And I was like petrified as fuck, because I was like, oh my god, did those feet, oh god, the fucking hand stole your feet. And she screamed out of the fucking top of her lungs like a fucking banshee. It was like, oh my god, what do I do? What do I do? So I jumped on the nearest furniture I could find, and I hold my legs together, make sure my feet was okay, and then she disappeared. And I could not see her, I could not hear her. I was like by myself on top of this table I was on. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck's going on? And then there was like a painting behind me, and then all of a sudden like the painting started levitating out of the fucking walls. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck's going on? And then, like, behind the painting was, like, total darkness. I was like, what the fuck's this? I don't get what the hell's going on. And then these giant pairs of hands grabbed my lips and stole them from me. And then I was about to snatch it away from my face, I woke up. I was like, holy fuck. Oh, no, 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 no. I was, like, crying like hell. I was scared. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I tell you guys, like, after that dream I had, like, up until I was, like I don't know, like 13 or something like that, I was scared to be near, like, furnitures or places or, like, little things that have spaces between them, between the floor and the item itself. So whenever I was, like, near a bed, it had, like, a box thing and also some legs under the box. I made sure I stayed away from the beds as far as possible. If there was couches that had spaces between each other and the floor itself, I made sure I was sitting completely, like, my whole body onto the couch or something like that, where I was, like, sitting on a chair with my legs close together like that, so that way the feet monster don't grab my fucking feet and my lips. I mean, it was like the most horrible thing to ever have happened to me. I was like, oh my god, I can't live like this. And I kind of came over my little episode there, I guess, when I reached high school, because I realized that, you know, shit like that doesn't happen every time or every day or at all. So I should not have this irrational fear of that. But, you know, it was so real, the dream, that it just made me want to believe that that's happening. And it was like the most scariest part of my life, just like knowing that may or may not happen, that you'll never know. But the worst thing that ever happened to me is my phobia right now. I have a new phobia. Well, it's not new as in like I just got it, but new as in it's the fairly recent thing that's making me all terrified and shit. And the fact of the matter is, I'm kind of scared of things that touch eyes, basically. And what I mean by that is anything that involves getting into contact with, like, eyes, pupils. So, like, for example, if someone is putting, like, eye drops or something like that, or is touching their eye for some reason. Or if there's, like, a surgical procedure which involves needles into eyes, or even, like, eye exams kind of scare me, because during the eye exams, there's, like, this one little machine that blows air into your eyes to make them tear up in water, and they have to examine what it does to your eye and some shit like that. It's all very scientific and doctory, and I'm not gonna get into that because I don't know most of that procedures and what they entail. But that kind of creeps me out sometimes, because, well, actually it creeps me out all the time, especially when I'm in those eye exams, because I kind of get like a little panic attack right there, because I imagine like these puffs of air is gonna actually like blow out my eyes from like where it's placed, or it's gonna like disintegrate my eyes or some shit like that. I don't know. I get like these weird like not hallucinations, but I guess it kind of is like hallucinations when you're kind of actually thinking about what the fuck's going on, and it kind of goes to the extremes. Like this one time, like there was this one machine that's supposed to examine your eyes like in a digital scale, and it involves taking a picture of the eye, and there was like a little laser they had to look at in order for it to take the picture, and I imagined the laser was melting my eyes as I was looking at it. I was like, oh god, I couldn't look at it. I was like freaking out. And the reason why I have this phobia right now is because of one movie. This one movie fucked me up, and I'll tell you what the title is right now. But I'll just let you know, guys, right now. With me, I have no problem with gore, especially when it's in movies. Like I'm okay with that. I don't get creeped out. I don't get grossed out. I don't like get all sick or anything like that. But when I watched this one movie called See No Evil, which features a wrestling athlete that you may or may not know, his name is Kane. He was in that movie, and he was the antagonist. And what happens in this movie is the antagonist has this really rough childhood in a hotel where he grows up, and he has such a traumatic experience in this hotel that he owns the place and rents out the rooms to people. And what he does at night to these tenants is that he goes in and steals all their eyeballs. Like, he reaches out, grabs the fucking eyeball, pulls out of their heads, and keeps them in jars. And I saw this one scene where he is showing pretty much the procedure of how he's doing it. He captures this one chick, and I think it was a chick or a guy. I'm not sure. It was like one of the two. It doesn't really matter. The procedures really pissed me off and really like creeped me out to the extreme, where he reaches in with his fingers, with his like 3 fingers, and he pulls out the eyes out of its socket. You can see the little tube attaching the eye to the head itself, and you can see it being pulled to its extreme. And you hear it snap. I was looking at it. I was like, oh my god, no, I can't. I was like fucking creeped out. I was like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I fucking like turned off the TV because I was watching on TV. I was like, oh god. I was fucking creeped out to the max when I saw that. So because of this fucking movie, now I'm all like very, very irritated when I see people put in like contact lenses or something like that. Like really, just any physical contact with eyeballs really like makes me cringe so hard that you guys have no clue. I got mad at people because they did this in front of me. But yeah, that's the thing that's been like really, really like scary for me anyway. And of course, when I tell my friends about these things, they like to fuck with you. My good friend Shenanigan X fucks with me about that phobia 24/7 whenever he can. I tell you what, man, it's just like, if I even piss him off, he just like describes like in retaliation things that he'll do to my eyes, and I'm like, ah, god, that's it, I'm done. But anyway, guys, those are my 2 stories for you guys. I hope you find that somewhat entertaining. If you have any responses to any of the 2 stories, or you want to tell me your story about anything that's related to that, either phobias or weird dreams, please let me know in the comments below or in my inbox on YouTube. I would love to hear them. I'd love to respond to them as well. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna see you guys later. I'm gonna cut these videos. It might be more than one video attached to this commentary because I'm taking so long. I don't know why. I'm playing with this really sharp plastic thing. I don't know what the fuck it is. I found it on the floor. Yeah, I'm kind of naive when it comes to things. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to catch you guys later. I hope you enjoy your day/evening whenever you are watching this. This is SecondBlank saying peace out. Later, Gators.